KHOU 11 studios, this is HTownRush.
Good news for the travel industry. Carnival Cruise Lines plans to set sail again, possibly as early as August, and that includes trips out of Galveston. But this has some people wondering, is it all too soon? So we do want your take in this morning's live survey. How soon would you set sail on a cruise? You can answer this summer, later in the year, 2021, or never again. Head to KHOU.com/vote now. And we'll have much more coming on that and your coronavirus headlines in just a minute. For now, welcome to H-Town Rush, everyone. I'm Steph Simmons. Want to get straight to Erica Lopez for a look at the forecast.
Okay, it's a busy one indeed. Lots going on today. We're going to kick off your morning warm and muggy, upper 70s. We're ahead of the next cold front. Check this out. Cold front, it arrives this evening and this afternoon for southeast Texas. Right now, it's made its way through Dallas and North Texas, but notice some shower activity just north of our viewing area. Rain chances are going to increase throughout the day today. So let me walk you through how that's going to play out for your daily forecast. Your day part planner, 7 a.m. I put in a 20% chance of rain. That does increase to a 30% chance. Temperatures are still going to make it to the 90s with a heat index in the upper 90s. Thunderstorm chances this afternoon as that front pushes through. It looks much nicer behind the front, so I'll talk about those numbers coming up in the full forecast. Xavier?
All right, Erica, thank you. Well, friends, family, and the Houston Police Department, they're getting ready to say a final farewell to a fallen officer. We now know the funeral information for Officer Jason Knox. He was killed when his police helicopter crashed in the Greenspoint area Saturday morning. His remains were taken to a funeral home in a Sci-Fair volunteer fire department ambulance. This was yesterday. His wife is a dispatcher in that department, and Knox was once a volunteer firefighter there. Knox's visitation, well, that is Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. at Houston's First Baptist Church along the Katy Freeway. That is open to the public, but the church will make sure everyone can social distance. The funeral is Saturday at 11 a.m., but that is only for family, friends, and invited guests and dignitaries. HPD does plan to stream that service online. Meantime, the other officer, pilot Chase Comier, is still recovering in the hospital. Investigators are trying to figure out why this helicopter crashed in the first place. Of course, our thoughts and our prayers are with both families in this accident.
All right, Xavier, thank you. Now we want to get you to this morning's coronavirus headlines. Here's a look at the number of cases in the Houston area. We now have more than 10,800. Even though that number went up, it grew at a slower rate with 185 new cases added yesterday. Nationwide, more than 40 states have announced plans to ease or end restrictions as the death toll closes in on 69,000. And new models show that could double. And that would add up to about 134,000 deaths. So what does that new projection mean for Texas? Our Michelle Choi explains.
Steph, health officials say it's important to note despite states reopening and social distancing guidelines becoming more relaxed, that does not mean we should let our guard down. And here's why. According to a new model by researchers at the University of Washington, the number of coronavirus deaths in the U.S. will double to over 134,000 by August 4th. In Texas, the projection is over 3,600. Infectious disease expert Dr. Peter Hotez with Baylor College of Medicine says that spike is expected with social distancing guidelines being lifted at least a month too soon. Here in Houston, he says we've hit our peak, but says we should think of it like the Appalachian Trail. We'll have more peaks. He thinks at least two more, one before November and one next January. And the number of cases could climb much higher as more people return to work.
Once people start returning to the workplace, even if it's in a graded manner, that's where we're going to start seeing a lot of people infected.
Dr. Hotez's advice, if you can work from home, you should. Here in Harris County, Judge Lena Hidalgo extended the stay home work safe order to May 20th, hoping people only visit the places allowed to reopen. Guys, back to you.
We'll certainly see if they do. All right, Michelle, thank you. Well, you can expect changes in the way the Texas Workforce Commission operates. The state agency who oversees unemployment will restructure one of its call centers. First, they'll review who will get free child care. Now, right now, healthcare workers top that list, but the category is too broad right now, so they plan on narrowing it down. Next, the call center staff will do outbound calling. Employees will call people with flags in the system, like those who've had trouble requesting payment or who have not yet received funds. But a warning with these changes, be mindful of scammers.
Don't immediately start answering their questions. Instead, feel very comfortable to ask them questions. They'll have your record in front of them and they'll be able to answer questions.
The state put out guidelines on who needs to go back to work, and you can find that information on our website, KHOU.com.
A big announcement from Carnival Cruise Lines. It says it is phasing in service again starting on August 1st. And those cruises are going to set sail from Miami, Port Canaveral, and Galveston. The company says it's working on additional health and safety procedures, but didn't detail exactly what that's going to look like. Carnival also says it is canceling all other North American and Australian cruises through the end of August. We have a whole lot more details on KHOU.com. But this morning we want to know, how soon would you set sail on a cruise? We have a couple different options for you. You can go to KHOU.com/vote now to weigh in. You can also open up our mobile app. We've heard from a lot of you, like Brandy, who says ASAP. She says they disembarked the day they shut cruising down and saw how seriously the cruise ships were taking this. And a lot of you, you want to get back in on the water as soon as possible, booked for October, for September, August, New Year's Eve. But some folks are a little more cautious, like Michael. He wants to know about those safety and health procedures. Like, what are the buffets and condiment stations going to look like? Because you're all right on top of each other. And that's why some people, even folks who have gone on a lot of cruises in their lifetime, are saying, nah, we're going to wait maybe until next year or a couple years until we hop on board. And there are a lot of folks who just say, never, 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 pointing out that there's always a higher risk of communicable diseases on those ships. Even before COVID-19, you've probably heard a lot of or seen a lot of those headlines. But let us know. You can weigh in on KHOU.com/vote now. Xavier?
All right, Brandy, and speaking of Galveston, it'll likely be another busy weekend at the beaches, and beach patrols, they are stretched thin. Here are the day's other big stories. The Galveston Island Beach Patrol is struggling to keep visitors safe while also monitoring social distancing. The agency needs to hire 80 lifeguards, but COVID-19 could make it difficult.
We are 100% funded by hotel motel tax, and the hotels have not had anybody in them, and they're still really low in occupancy, and so that's going to be a real issue for us.
New cases at a Pearland nursing home. 7 residents and an employee test positive for coronavirus. Officials at the Winsong Care Center say 1 resident is hospitalized while 6 others are recovering in isolation. More free testing in Houston's at-risk communities. New free sites at Daniel Ortiz Middle School and Hiram Clark Multi-Service Center are open through Saturday, and the site at Worthing High School will extend testing as well. The second round of help for small businesses is going fast. The Paycheck Protection Program's new funding is already more than half gone. Texas businesses have gotten $13 billion in loans, third most in the country. The Blue Angels will honor frontline workers in Texas this week. They'll do flyovers at several hospitals around the Houston area. They'll release their schedule and flight route today. And those are the big stories on this Tuesday morning.